Welcome back to Together We Can's monthly action items. My name is Rob Crane. I'm a personal injury attorney in Dallas, Texas. And along with my friend, Pastor Richie Butler, we are co founders of Together We Can. Please excuse my raspy voice this month as I am recovering from a college football game that unfortunately did not go my team's way at the last minute. But what a wonderful element of our country, and that's collegiate athletics, and what those young people bring to all of us in the way of entertainment, in addition to the contributions in their lives and growing through that wonderful experience of sport. This month, we recognize and appreciate National Hispanic Heritage Month and acknowledge the immense contributions to the history of our country, the culture, the values of our country from those Hispanic Americans that come from all backgrounds and whose heritage includes people coming from Spanish-speaking countries from all over the world and Latin Americans as well that don't necessarily assume the Hispanic title. We celebrate all Americans who have brought just such wonderful contributions. And then we shift this month to a little more technical study than we normally do. We're going to get into maybe the top challenge for major cities around the country and really every state around the country. And as we learn, it's an international problem too, and that is available housing. And it comes in different phrases, affordable housing, however you want to bring that term. But what we currently have is we have a very complex problem of people who are working hard in this country, who are either making minimum wage or making much more than minimum wage, but a modest income. And due to land and costs and construction costs, are just unable to buy a home or even rent a home that is close to where they work. And therefore, they're unable to spend as much time with family as they're on the road, spending hours, in many cases, hours a day, driving to and from work. And what we've also seen and what we also look at in depth this month is our history when it comes to communities and how we built our communities and we segregated our communities through redlining and other policies that were in place in a darker chapter in our country's history. And we are still feeling the impact of those policies today. You can see it in communities all across the country. And so we recognize and learn from our history this month in regards to how we arrived today in our housing challenges, as well as some of those problems that we need to address from the past. We also look at the complexities that modern day bring to this problem, the cost of land, construction costs. And when you add those factors in, people are just unable to afford to live near where they need to work, and unable to live in communities that bring safe places for their families and for children growing up. And it also deprives them of basic services. And so we look at those problems. We listen to J. Ron Terwilliger, who has really put his money where his mouth is when it comes to this topic, and somebody who has built as many apartment complexes around the nation as probably anyone, and who is dedicating this chapter in his life to this problem. And so he teaches us quite a bit about what he sees in these challenges, and he recognizes the challenges that people of color have faced traditionally and continue to face in this challenge. We also see where communities have come together and have overcome housing challenges in particular neighborhoods. And I want to make note of my co-founder, Pastor Richie Butler. Before becoming full-time pastor, He worked in real estate, and he is still sought after in consultation for his expertise in real estate. But he, along with other pastors, including Pastor Zan Holmes, uh, got together, and the African American Pastors Coalition in Dallas, Texas, planned a 285 single family home community that was developed. And not only did it develop those wonderful homes, but then businesses and churches all were built around that wonderful community. One of our offerings this month is the Nehemiah Project, which was a similar coalition of churches that came together to transform a community, transform a neighborhood, and they show us these pastors in the Nehemiah Project and pastors like Richie Butler and Zan Holmes how we can do this and overcome these challenges. It's complex. There are tax issues. There's policy. There's political issues. Obviously, all of these things are not simple issues, but they must be dealt with. They must be addressed in order for us to bring the quality of life to so many Americans who deserve it, who are working hard and doing those jobs that many folks don't want to do. So we get in a little deeper this month. I hope you find it as educational as I have. I hope you find it stimulating and motivational for you as well. If anything, I think we can all bring a different attitude to this issue. A phrase you're going to hear, NIMBY, not in my backyard, how none of us want certain developments to occur in our communities, and how we can look at this a little differently following our materials this month. Maybe how we can bring more acceptance to mixed income developments where other people can have opportunities in our communities that they currently are priced out of, currently don't have opportunities to get into. So we are all part of this challenge. It's a difficult one. I certainly don't have the answers to it, but I certainly want us all, myself included, to see what we can bring to the table and make our country and our communities better. Hope you enjoy the offerings this month, and we look forward to seeing you back next month.